Sure. Good evening. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Sisters of Legacy. We're going to run our intro and we will be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here tonight and we are an awesome duo because our third is out tonight. So you just have me, Samantha Walker, and the awesome Shanetta McNair.
Hey.
So if you stick your head in or if you're watching us on a replay, we appreciate your time and we definitely appreciate you joining us. So tonight, all right, so for some of you that may think you're scholars, you're going to look at that word and you're probably going to debate the spelling. So to you, I'm going to say join the club because so did I. um, but our topic tonight is arrogance versus naivete. So, just to give you a little bit of background, and I don't know how Shanetta feels about this topic because although we have been talking about doing this particular topic, we have not talked about the topic over the last couple of weeks. So we might have two very totally opposite opinions on this topic. So join in, tell us what you think, put it in the comments. It doesn't even matter if it's a replay. I would love to know your thoughts on this topic. So I came across this topic mainly based on some experiences I've had as of late. And, um, like in my personal one on one time, reflective time, whatever word you want to use there, like it kind of came to me like, like I really think that I'm big stuff. Like I really think that I'm so special or so important or so, I don't know, like that I'm totally full of myself that I think I'll never be hurt or that people aren't supposed to hurt me. People aren't supposed to disappoint me. People, like those things are abnormal. Like that shouldn't happen to me because I'm Samantha. Like, the more that I sat and thought about it, like I really had a come to Jesus moment with myself. And I realized like you really are full of yourself that you think you're above this. Like it's not supposed to happen. So much so that I noticed for myself, and maybe you might recognize this too, that you design your life so that these things don't happen to you. And if you meet someone and you think, oh, you might be a little shady. What do we do? Yeah, I'm gonna call you and go on about our business. If we interact with somebody and we're like, it look like this can be more drama. You might be a little bit too much drama for me. What do? We go the other way. Um, we're hesitant about connecting with people because I don't know you. You might hurt me. I don't want to tell you anything about me. I don't want to show you anything about myself because I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you won't betray me. Like that is how, again, as a personal thing, that is how we set up our lives. That is how we outline our relationships. It's all based on the premise that no one is supposed to hurt us. No one is supposed to disappoint us. No one is supposed to betray us or whatever version of that word, you feel, that's how we design our lives. And I really was thinking, like, am I being naive because I think that's not supposed to happen to me? Or am I just being arrogant that, like, I'm me. Like, you don't get the right to do this to me. And so I really wanted to talk. I was really hoping Vanessa was going to be here because I felt like the more opinions on this, the better. But I really wanted to know, um, where do people stand on that? Like, when you really sit and have a moment. And we've kind of talked about this in a roundabout way before. We've talked about the whole protecting your peace, because I feel like that's kind of like, yeah, that's how we phrase it. We've come up with all these great terms. We protecting our peace. I'm establishing boundaries. We have all these great terms, but I feel like maybe not everybody, but somewhere at the heart of it, at the origin of it, is because we feel like you don't have the right to hurt me. You don't have the right, to do these things to me. So what say you, Shanetta? I see your wheels turning.
So, because I was definitely about to like introduce what I was going to say as our third word of the night,
Okay.
protection. Protecting yourself. And then you said it, and I was just like, okay, so like now you're taking away all of my points. Like you're just snatching it. And like now, like my whole little comeback plan is just blown up right in front of me, right? So I was definitely going to come back with maybe it's not arrogant, maybe it's not being naive, maybe it's just protecting yourself. But in hearing what you're saying, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, is it arrogant to think that nobody should ever hurt us or nobody should ever violate us in a way that, we weren't, willing, like come at us in a way that we weren't willing to be a part of that type of interaction? Or is that a thing? Do we think that we're like, I'm so important, I'm so great that this shouldn't happen to me? Or are we in a state of, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me when stuff happens? And I would have to say, just kind of looking at situations, for me personally, looking at situations where I've been injured, where I've been hurt, where I've been violated, where I have come out on the end of something, and I'm like, whoa, like that caught me off guard, wasn't prepared for that. I don't necessarily think that it has been arrogance so much that I can't believe that happened to me. But more so of, I wasn't prepared for that. Even when you see it coming sometimes. I remember about a little over a year ago, I had a car accident. And this is kind of like off base, but like, I'm gonna circle it back around. I had a car accident. And it was a rear end car accident. So I didn't see her coming in front of me, but I could see through my rear view mirror that she was coming and that she was not stopping. And in seeing her coming at me the way she was, while I was prepared for it, I wasn't prepared for it. So like in my mind, it wasn't that I was like, she can't hit my car. Look at my car. My car is so great. She can't tear up my car. Like, she gonna stop because this is my car sitting in front of her. This is my, probably, I love that car too. My little Toyota Camry, she tear up my car. No, it wasn't that. It was just like, no, she's not gonna hit me. So now that I'm thinking about it, as I'm saying it, I was probably kind of naive, right? Because I'm sitting there like, no, I see her coming, but clearly she's gonna stop. No, I see this thing happening. She's not gonna really hit me though. Like, she's gonna stop. Because like, there's no way nobody would willingly come at me this way. Like, she's going to stop. that was a sense of being naive, thinking that she was going to stop, but there was nothing I could do, whether whether she stopped or continue. Because if I move, then I'm putting myself in more danger. So the only thing I can do is brace myself for it and take it, right? So in that moment, um, while it wasn't what I was expecting,
Right.
I saw it coming. So my naive mind was like, no, 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 this isn't going to happen. But then it did. So now I'm sitting there having to deal with the repercussions and the mess afterwards. My car is tore up. Um, I'm in public in tears because, like, why wouldn't I cry? Because it's me. Like, I'm gonna cry. So I'm in public. I'm in tears. My car is tore up. I gotta call my husband. I was already on the phone with him. Got to tell him what happened. Got to get somebody over here to kind of help me figure out what's going on with this car. That was a lot. I wasn't prepared for it, but I saw it coming. And I think sometimes in life, that's where we fall. And I guess I would lean it towards being just slightly naive, where we see stuff coming. We know that it's coming sometimes. Sometimes it catches us off guard. Sometimes we really don't know. Like, we don't see nothing coming at us. But we find ourselves in a state of like, no, like, but no, that's not going to really happen. No way. So it's not that we don't see it coming. It's just that we're just like, but that can't happen. That's not going to happen. But I feel like naive is such a negative word and I don't like it. So, for me, I would say not necessarily a choice of being naive. I don't know. I have to find a better word instead of naive, but I do feel like it's a sense of not necessarily arrogance, like that can't happen to me. Now, there may be some people walking around thinking, nope, that's not going to ever happen to me. That can't happen to me. That I would definitely call arrogant. But naive just feels like it's the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and I need something in the middle. I need another word. I need a different word. You're off camera. You know that.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm having some technical
Gotcha.
issues. Okay.
But
Yes. So hold on. I don't know. My thing is doing something crazy. So let me ask you this. Let's make it just a little bit more personal. No,
okay.
I'm not okay, husband. I don't know what happened. Oh, there I am. So think about this. Like, you have relationship with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
friend, whatever it is, and you've been there for that person.
Mm-hmm.
You've sacrificed for that person. You've shown up for that person, whatever it is. And then that person does something to you. What's the first thing we say? Because the first thing we say is all the things that I've done for them, all the
Mm-hmm.
times that I've been there. You don't think that's like just a little bit arrogant?
No, because it's like your trust was violated. It's like not necessarily arrogant. Arrogant, like I said, like the two words that are picked for this topic are like the whole. I need something in the middle. I need words in the middle that give me like the butterflies and the fluff. I don't know. I don't like your words.
I got you. And to be
um,
honest, this is part of why like I pick the words, because sometimes we do take and we paint over stuff with the butterflies and the fluff colors, and we make it pretty. I don't mean just you again. Like
right?
I
No, no,
mean,
no, no.
yeah, like and we do that, and we miss little pockets of where we can be better. And so, okay, let me bring it home a little bit. I think back to, and I know anybody that watches, everybody may not be a believer, you don't believe in Jesus, all of that. But even if you don't believe in him, that's fine. That's between you and whoever you believe in. But you've heard the story. We've all heard the story, no matter what you believe, of
Mm-hmm.
Judas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, no matter what you believe, you've heard this story. And even at the table, while he was yet feeding them, he says, He tells them everything that's gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna do this, and there's even one of y'all at the table that's gonna betray me, and still didn't say like get away from my table. Even leading up, he knew this was coming. He knew that Judas was gonna betray him. Like there was no surprise there, and he still didn't protect his peace. You know what I'm saying? He didn't he didn't distance himself. He didn't establish a boundary. He didn't do any of those things. And another example, okay, let's just say you're not a believer or whatever. Everybody knows the story of Gandhi, like, or at least know who Gandhi was. He was nonviolent, or at least that's what most of the people, know him for, being like a man of peace. But he took it so much further that even when his followers did things that were against his principles or against the teachings or against, the things that they had in place, instead of reprimanding or punishing them or them having some sort of consequence, he punished himself, not even the people that did wrong or did him wrong. He punished himself. And yes, I looked it up because because I wanted to know, other like examples, like how it worked. And I think back to people like that have lived their life in that way that, I'm not even we talk about not giving people the keys to our happiness, not depending on another person to make us happy, self-love and all these other wonderful terms. But like, do we give people the keys to hurt us then?
I don't. I would have to say no. I don't feel like we give people permission or keys or access to hurt us. It's just a natural part of peopling. Um,
Okay, so
it,
if it's a natural part, right? Then why do we then punish people on the flip side of it?
I think because there's a consequence for every action. That's also a natural part of life.
Okay.
There are consequences for whatever actions we choose. There are consequences, rewards, however you want to, like to kind of give it like a negative and a positive side of it. There are actions that follow behaviors, and that's a natural part of life too. So even when like people have choices and people are flawed, we're flawed as individuals. And I think that while there is not an expectation or an invitation is the word I would use. While there is no invitation for someone to come and put a dagger in my back, I'm not going to invite you to hurt me.
Right.
However, a natural part of life is that you will experience some ups and some downs, and that you have to be prepared to respond to that. You have to have a source of response for that. I just don't feel like it's arrogance, because while we don't expect people to hurt us, I don't think we don't expect people to hurt us because we think we're so great and we think we're above being hurt. I think it's that we don't expect people to hurt us because it's just not okay to hurt people. It's just not okay to be unkind to people. Like, I mean, even I think the worst of human beings don't expect a consequence to, or don't expect to, oh, because I'm a terrible person, naturally people are going to be terrible to me. I don't think people who know that they're terrible people, sometimes I don't think they really know that they're terrible people. I think that they think that they're okay. But I think people who are out here like just being awful human beings and just being horrible, I don't think that they have an open target or open invitation. Like, yeah, I know I'm horrible, so like do whatever you want to. If you want to try to hurt me back, go ahead and try it, because I know I'm a horrible person. I think that they expect people to be loving and kind to them too. So they even probably get caught off guard. Now they might be arrogant. I don't know, who knows. But I think that even a terrible human being doesn't put an open target on themselves and says, "Yeah, try to hurt me back. See if you can catch me. Catch me if you can." Um I think that they get caught off guard too. Like sometimes like, "Whoa, okay, you did a me on me." You gave me back some of what I'm giving out in this world. Um and I think that it shocks them even as well. So I don't know. I just don't necessarily, I would not classify not expecting to be hurt as being arrogant.
Okay.
Um, I just don't think that nobody will put an open invitation on themselves. Come, hey, I'm just a mere human being. Come hurt me and let's see how I respond to you. No, that might get you in some trouble. Don't do that. Don't play them kind of games with me. Please don't do that.
So
So
you think it's abnormal for us to be hurt in this present life we live?
abnormal?
I
No.
mean,
No. I feel like in general, I feel like life contains ups and downs, trials and tribulations, happy, sad. I feel like you should not be caught off guard by things happening in your life. Things are going to happen to all of us, to the best of us. I feel like it's very naive of a person to have the expectation that, oh, nothing bad will ever happen to me. So it's kind of like, I think about when people say, oh yeah, I got saved and life has been great, life has been grand, life has been wonderful, and like nothing is happening to you now, that like you don't have any bad situations because you got saved, because you gave your life to the Lord. That's different. I feel like we're all going to experience in life situations that are hard, situations that are tough, and difficult to deal with, but some of them do catch you off guard. No doubt. Like some stuff do really catch you off guard because, like, whoa, I didn't see that one coming. I just knew that if I was gonna get hurt this week, that it was gonna be from this direction, and here it comes and circled around on the back and hit me in the back of my head, and I didn't even see that coming. Like I didn't even, like, I wasn't ready for that one. Like it done knocked me in the back of my head, and I done fell on the ground. I was expecting to come from over here, and now I'm laid out on this floor. Like what in the world? So I think that it's important for true adults, because I mean kids don't get it. I think it's important for true adults to know that we're going to have trials in this life, whether you are living on cloud nine, whether you have money, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you were born with the silver spoon in your mouth. You're going to have some type of hardships. You're going to have some type of situations that make life a little uncomfortable for you. Um, and you have to know and navigate how you're going to address adversity. So if you're a person of faith, turning to the scriptures, turning to prayer, and leaning on God in those times, I think is for me, that's my source of recovery, because I'm not gonna tell you it didn't knock me down. I'm not gonna tell you it didn't knock the wind out of me and it didn't hurt really, really, really bad. I'm not even gonna tell you that I stood strong and I didn't shed a tear. Not me. I'm gonna cry every time. I'm here to let you know, like, I am a crier. Um and like I posted the other day something about, I'm gonna complain about it, I'm gonna act like I can't do it, but after I get done getting all that out, I'm gonna get up and do it. Like, I mean, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do at the end of the day, but I'm probably gonna cry about it a little bit. Now, if God is trying to deliver me from crying, I don't really know how he gonna do that, and I'm praying for him to bless me, because like I don't really know how he gonna do that. It's like may Jesus and the Lord and the Holy Ghost work together as one to just make that thing happen. Because I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna shed a tear. Like I'm a crybaby. But it doesn't mean that I don't have the strength, from God to get through it. And I know that I have that, but along the way, I'm probably going to cry about it. It's just me, and I'm okay with that. I know who I am. I know, what I'm gonna do about it, but I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it. But yeah, how we got to me crying, I don't know. But here we are. Here we are. What else you got?
I oh hmm. Okay, so you don't think it's arrogant, or there's no, not even me saying there's no tinge, like, because I okay, and I guess some of it, like, because I listen to people,
Mhm.
and oh, let me put up his comment. Anthony said, "Cry about it. It's okay." But I listen to people, and I've heard people say, "I'm a good person." Like, why does this happen to me? Like, why is this happening to me? Like, I hear that from people, and I be, and I it makes me think, like, and I almost said it once, like, I'm like, Lord, why? And I said, mm-mm. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not even gonna, I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna go there. But I wholeheartedly believe that, even, and I get it, because we think of arrogance as, like, whatever, watch me flip my hair, and all these things,
Mhm.
like, um, we think of it in terms of that. And I guess there is a bit of a negative connotation, to both words. To be
Yeah.
honest, and, like, for me, I feel like, and that's okay. Like, sometimes there's not always, for me anyway, there's not always um dandelions and tulips, that I
Right.
use to describe me. Sometimes there's some concrete and some thorn bushes. I mean, even a rose is in a thorn bush. As beautiful as it is
Mhm.
surrounded by some not so beautiful things.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes I feel like that's okay. I always kind of just, when I be thinking about things, and I think I spend way too much time in my head with all of the people that live in there. And so and so sometimes the things I ponder, I'm like, I wonder if anybody has ever really thought about that. Like, have we really thought about it? And I guess, to attach those words to it, no, because we don't want to think of anything that's negative about us. Those are the things we try hard to
So,
either misidentify or act like we don't see it. Like, we gonna
mhm.
look right over that. Oh no, look, girl, I'm so confident. Oh yeah, I can finish stuff. I'm
Yeah.
productive.
Yeah.
I got great time management. I show up on time. We're gonna talk about all those things, but we're gonna leave all that extra stuff, over to the
Right.
side. And so, for me, some of these things are just like some of those extra things that I'm like, okay, I've been pushing that over to the side for 45, 49, however many years. And so maybe it's time to start actually pulling some of this stuff out, shaking it off, addressing it and
Mhm.
dealing with it, so that, as I age, that I can truly age gracefully, and in full knowledge of all my dark spots. Like,
Yeah.
like, I haven't put all my dark spots in the corner and hid them from myself. Like, I never knew that about me. Like, no, I want to know that about me.
Yeah. I got stuck, not really stuck, because I heard what you said after that too, but like what stuck out to me was the "I'm a good person" statement. And I do hear people say that. I've heard people say that I'm a good person. Like, I don't know why someone would want to do this to me, or why someone would. I think that with that statement, I'm not a person that would. I don't think I've ever said that statement like that. I don't think I have. If I have, I don't remember at this current moment the I'm a good person statement. Um, but I think that two things. One, I think that might be borderline, if not actually an arrogant type of statement, because the expectation is because I'm a good person, nothing can ever happen to me. And that's where I would say, yeah, you can't really have that expectation because you're a good person. And then the second part of that is that I do feel like that as people, as believers, what we have to understand is that it's not that bad things only happen to bad people. Bad things happen even to good people. Terrible situations come up even for good people,
Right.
because what are we doing, judging the content of a person based on the things that happen to them, the things that happen in their lives? Because that's like crazy. That's wild. To sit and say, oh, well, your child passed away because you're a bad person. Oh, your husband passed away because you're a bad person. Oh, you lost your house because you're a bad person. Oh, you lost your job because you're a bad person.
Right.
Oh, you have, this illness or this sickness because you're a bad person. That's kind of like what that statement says when someone is saying, I'm a good person, I can't believe this happened to me.
Right.
So you're saying that everybody that has had terrible situations happen to them, that they're all bad people. And that's a line that I would never want to toe, because, like, are you serious right now? Are you saying that every person who has ever had anything happen in their lives, that they must be a bad person? That's we're all terrible then. If that's the judgment stick that we're using, then we are all terrible people, because bad things happen even to the sweetest people, even to the kindest people, the most loving people. I've seen, like, I mean, last week, this week, last week, hurricane came through. So we're saying everybody that lost power, lost their homes, lost you know, cars, whatever. Like, we've seen all kinds of stuff on the news. So everybody that lost something, they're bad people. They have to be, because I'm a good person. So why is this happening to me? Because I'm a good person. So I think that's why that would definitely, for me, and like somebody else may have a totally different perspective, but for me, that's why a statement like that would definitely be bordering the arrogant side, because it's just kind of like, what do you really mean by that? Like, let's fully evaluate what you're saying. Um, we have to kind of like fully look at like what they're presenting when they say that. So I don't know. I think that's where it can get kind of touchy. Um, but I do think that thinking that things should not happen to you or cannot happen to you could actually push into the arrogant side, and then not expecting things to happen to you because of whatever reason, because I'm doing the best I can, I'm out here just, I'm
Right.
kind to people, and I just expect all people to be kind to me because I'm kind to everyone. That can kind of be on the naive side of things, where it's just kind of like, I expect people to be nice to me because I'm nice to everyone.
Right.
Child, I work with middle schoolers, and I would just use them as an example right now. I say good morning to every sixth grade child that comes down our hall. I'm talking about individually. So I say good morning a good 300 times in like a 20-minute time frame, I feel like. Am I dramatic sometimes? Absolutely. So maybe I might be exaggerating this just a teeny bit, but not a whole lot, okay? Because there's a lot of them kids. And I'm right there at the sixth grade entryway where they come in. The cafe lady is there giving them their breakfast. And some of them little gremlins do not speak back. But I'm such a sweet teacher. I am so kind. I'm so loving to them as they walk down the hall. And they will look at you, roll their eyes, and keep walking. They do not care.
Right.
But I'm such a good person. Why are they being so mean to me? I'm such a kind. Them kids do not care. They do not care about my good morning. They don't care about my sing song good morning. I walk into work and I might be on the phone with my husband, and he told me this was a couple of years ago, one morning I was saying good morning to people as I walked in the building. He was like, "Do you sing good morning like that to everyone?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." But it was like, so I mean, I'm like literally, good morning, good morning, to every kid that walks past me. Have a good day. Like, just trying to make sure that I give them just, just a little bubble of sunshine before they go off and, go into the terrible, terrible. I don't know what they got going on in their heads. But just because they don't speak back doesn't indicate anything about me. That's on them if they don't speak back. But I'm a good person, so I'm gonna speak to them.
I really was going to yeah, I'm not, because I know my husband is watching, and if I go down this road, he probably will be doing this while he's watching this. Like, don't do it, Sam. So, um, so I'm a let that ride. Um, I mean, I like I said, I understand that. I understand that sometimes, because of the word or our understanding of it, or maybe just the real definition of it, it is
Mhm.
often hard to use that word as an identifier. And maybe it does not apply to you. Like, I'm not trying to make anybody arrogant. I'm not trying to make anybody naive. Like I said, the reality is that in our lives we are going to be hurt. There is no way. It's just the cycle of life. It is just the cycle of connection. It
Mhm.
is the cycle of the way that seasons work. I mean, like, we even see that with plants. During certain times of the year, the plant will flourish and it will sprout and it will grow, and then just in a turn, of a couple of weeks, that plant will die, and it's
Mhm.
not coming back. Like, it's not coming back until that next season. And sometimes this happens in real time in our lives, in our connections with people. It's not, they're not a bad person. You're not a good person. You're not a bad person. They're not a good, it has nothing to do with who you may be
Mhm.
um as a person. The reality is the season is over for it. The season is changing. So when the season changes, things change. So sometimes the relationship needs to change.
Mhm.
Oftentimes I believe we're just not in tune with the seasons or the cycles of life or relationships. Sometimes we just think that everything is just lifelong, or better yet, we're arrogant enough to think everything lasts as long as we want it to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I met you, you're gonna be my bestie for life. And we think this is just the way I want it, so this is the way it should stay. And unfortunately, that is not necessarily the case. Just like every conversation we have, no matter how small, no matter how large, it's always like Shanetta did when I was talking. I know y'all saw her wheels turning. If you didn't, go back to the beginning of the video and watch her face, her really thinking about what I say. And that's the point. That's the point of these conversations. I really want people to stop and think about these things in our everyday walks, like in our everyday interactions with people. Because if we present our best selves to people, then that's all that matters. Hi,
Mhm.
that you thought I was going to say that people would present their best self to you, didn't you? No, because that may not
They
happen.
may not. Mm-mm.
Right. They may not have found their best selves yet. They might not
They
even
not
be
even want to give you their
right.
best self.
That's what I said. They might not even be looking to their best self. But you have a responsibility to who you are and who you want to be, to present your best self at
Mhm.
all times, as much as humanly possible. Nothing is an exact science. So
Mhm.
hopefully these conversations give you something to think about. And this is not for you to identify the people that you know. Because
You're
because
arrogant. You're
right.
arrogant. You're arrogant. They're
Oh no, she naive. Because we're good for that. We're good for what is it, taking a shovel and shoveling stuff off to other people.
Mhm.
We're good for that. Sometimes you need to rake some stuff in, rake it to you.
Yeah.
My old pastor used to say that. He said, Today is the day that you get out your rake, put the shovel away, get out the rake
Mhm.
it into yourselves. Let's take some time and really think about who we are and who we presenting ourselves to be. It's important. We only get one life. Let's live it to the best of our abilities. And sometimes that, well, no, all the time, that means starting with yourself. Because I
Start.
can't change Shanetta, but I
Right.
can change Samantha.
Mhm.
And so that is always the goal. So hopefully we have said something tonight that makes you think, throw it back and forth, make all the faces that Shanetta was making in the beginning. Do all of those. Let your wheels spin. Let's think about it. And then tomorrow, get up and present your best self everywhere you go. So we are on typically every Thursday. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is our goal to have some of those conversations um, before the month is out because we know as women, it is something that our community faces more and a lot more, more often than we would care to admit. Unfortunately, we have these things, and sometimes they don't always work out the way that we would like them to. So we are going to have that conversation before the month is out. So stay tuned, check in back with us. If you are a survivor of breast cancer, if you have a relative, if you were a caretaker of someone else that had breast cancer and you want to share their story, your story, their experience, reach out. We would love to have you on to pass on your knowledge, to pass on your experience, or just to share maybe to share some of the things to look forward to. So again, check in with us because we are definitely going to have that conversation. I don't have the exact date, but we're working on it. So until then, guys, stay safe and be the best you can be.
Thank you for watching